So this term we're going to look at Python in a slightly different way. We're going to look at data science. Now data science is a fantastic thing, and currently it's one of the biggest areas of employment for the computer science industry. So we're going to delve into it. We're going to have a look at what it is. And one thing you should know is that Python is perfectly placed. If you wanted to go into data science, learning Python is probably the best skill you can have for this particular industry. So this term we're going to take a look at it. Now, same as last term, we're just going to try and get done as much as we can and just work at our own pace. Now, the resource I've found this term is a web-based product. Now, unfortunately, there isn't an app. I've tested it on a PC, I've tested it on my Mac, and I've tested it on the iPad. Those all work fine. I've been told that it works on an Android tablet. Now, I don't think you're going to have a great experience using it on your phone, this one, unfortunately. So you might have to give me some feedback on that and let me know how that goes for you. The other thing that you need to know is you do need to use a Chrome browser. So if you are using Windows, Mac, just go and download the Google Chrome browser. If you just type Google Chrome into your search engine, it will come up. Now, if you're on an iPhone or an Android tablet, if you go to the store and just type in Google Chrome, it will come up and you can download that. Unfortunately, this won't work in Safari browser or in any other browser. So if you want the best experience, we do have to use the Chrome browser. Now, if you're using a Chromebook, this should be no problem for you at all. It should work seamlessly. So let's head on over to the website that we're going to be using this time. So this website is called edX, edX.org. Now, it's been developed by Harvard and Berkeley and a whole bunch of other top universities across the globe, actually, not just in America. And what they're doing is it's an online program where you can get certificated, or you can just do it, you can just try things out. Now, when you're just trying things out and you're doing it for free, you do just have these month trials and then you have to kind of re-register. So each block that we do will just be a 4-week period. So just keep that in mind. But it is completely free. We're not going to have any sign up, and you can sign into it using your Google credentials from your school. So there's 2 ways into this. So the first way, you will have to register, and then after you've registered, the next time you log in, you're going to do the sign up button, pretty much like any other website you would use, but just keep that in mind. And in both options, you will click on the Google button. So let me just show you how this works. So if you click on the register button, and then just wait a couple of seconds. Now, the next thing you've got is this Google button. Don't worry about filling any of this details in. We're just going to use the Google button. So if you click on this Google button and enter your school credentials, you'll be able to get straight in there and it'll be absolutely fine. Don't use your personal credentials. Always use your school one. If anything goes wrong, if there's any problems, then the school can help you solve these. If you use your personal ones, obviously the school won't be able to do that. So when you click on this Google button, just do that. Now, when you come back to it the next time after you've got your account, it's the same process, but this time you'll just click on the sign in button and you'll click on this Google button instead. So don't enter your email or password here. It doesn't work that way. So you just click on the Google button, you enter your school credentials, and away you go. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So why don't we pause the video now and get yourself logged in, get yourself an account, and then you can unpause and carry on. So in this video, I'm just going to show you how to get the course. So the course we're looking for is the Python Basics Data Science. So if we're in this search engine, and hopefully you should see this should be the first thing that comes up. So we can just type in Python Basics Data Science and then press search. So once we do that, it will have a few. Give it a couple of seconds. My internet's been a bit slow today. Now, the one you're after is the IBM one. So developed by IBM, great teachers that do this, and every lesson has a video and it has some tasks to complete. It's really good, and I've completed the first module and I've been really impressed by it, actually. So you've got all this extra stuff that you'll kind of have to look at, but the one, if you keep scrolling down, so you'll get this launch your career in data science, and just keep scrolling down, and the one that you want is this first one. And if you are speedy at this, and I'm going to get some students that are really keen for this, looking at what I've seen over the last 2 terms, some people are really rolling with Python and some people kind of are struggling with it, but hopefully this will be okay. So once again, if it's not, let's have some feedback, and I'll try and make sure I cater for everyone, but let's give it a go first. So if we click on this Python Basics for Data Science and then view the course, just give it a couple of seconds. Now the next thing you do have to do is you have to press the enroll button. So mine's already enrolled, I've already started this, but that's the button you'd have to press, and then you're away. And once again, it will only let you in for about I think it's a month. Hopefully it's a month. I have to check that again, but it did say earlier that it was a month. So once you've done that, click on the view course and it should take you to the next page. No, so the next page is the actual course itself, and if you scroll down you'll see all of the lessons. Now this is the stuff that I've completed. If I just close this one, go back to module 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up one assignment in Google Classroom. So when you do your screenshot, I just want you to screenshot your progress. So just screenshot this area here. So what I'll get you to do is each week just hand in another screenshot. So we should, in total, we'll have 4 screenshots. Once again, I only expect you to do the amount of work that you're due to. So if, 1 hour a week, and once you've done that, just take your screenshot. If you manage to get a whole lesson completed in an hour, great. If you don't, that's absolutely not a problem. So just keep that in mind. If you just get a couple done, that's not a problem. If you get them all done, absolutely fine. Now this lesson did take me about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. So I suspect that it'll probably take you slightly longer. So if you just get 1 lesson done or 2 lessons done, that's absolutely fine. Now once again, you must be using the Chrome browser for this. If you're not using the Google Chrome browser, it's probably not going to work that well for you. Now you'll probably see in my taskbar that I'm using the Brave browser. It's just a version of the Google Chrome browser, okay, so don't get put off by that. It is the Google Chrome browser. So you can go through the welcome video. So if we click on the welcome first and we click on this video here, you can either launch the course from here or you can launch the course from here. It's completely up to you. I actually quite prefer to do it this way. I quite prefer to come down and actually launch it and then come back to this page after each go. So I'll tell you what we'll do actually. Let me just go back a page and just pause the video and get to that point, okay? So just get to this point where you're actually in this Python Basics for Data Science course. So if you get here, then we can move forward together. So just pause the video and get yourself to this point. Okay, so let's launch this again. So this time, let's launch it. No, I won't use the resume button. Let's just launch it from here. So we'll go back to the welcome page and we'll go into this, and there is a video. So you are going to want to watch the videos. And once you finish watching the videos, what it does is it gives you a tick. So if you scroll down, don't worry about all these messages here about upgrading and getting qualified. You really don't need this. That's not a problem. So scroll down, watch the video, and then once you've watched the video, you can either press the next button down here, or you can press the next button here. I quite like doing it here because what you'll see, some videos have 3 tabs and it just gives you a nice reference. So if you press the next button, we've obviously finished that one, we've watched the video. And then we'll go on to the next one. So this next bit is a reading stage. Now this is where we open up, or it tells you about all of the, you must be using the Google Chrome browser. You can also use Firefox, but I have had the best results out of the Chrome. So once you've read through this document, we get the tick as well. So far so good, nice and easy. Hasn't taken us too long to get to this point. And once again, pause the video if you need more time for this, okay? So the next thing tells you what you're going to learn. So there are a few pages like this, and please feel free to read it, but it's laid out like a kind of university course where it gives you the objectives and it tells you how it all works. So just keep that in mind. There's a little bit of I don't know, more text than you need probably. But anyway, once we get to it, it's fine. It cuts down the modules. It tells you the module we're looking at for this week, obviously, is module 1, Python Basics. And a lot of this stuff you have already covered. So once again, don't worry too much. We have covered all of this stuff. It shouldn't be too difficult. The way it's laid out is awesome, and we'll get there in a minute. So obviously next week we'll probably look at this one. Week after, hopefully we'll look at this one, and then finally we'll look at these. So by the end of the term we should get here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to this last one or not, depending on the time we've got, but we'll try. We'll see how it goes. So press next once you've read through that, And once again, if you need to pause the video, please do so. more text telling you how to get qualified and stuff. And then hopefully this time we'll be on that first module. So I've changed logs. Oh, blimey, more text. Now it's this one, I think. Now I will go back to the course, so you'll see. It's another page of text. Keep going, keep going. Okay, now we're on lesson 1. So first off, it just tells you what you're going to be learning. Now, if I just press next, hopefully this will get us to the lesson. So there's about 6 pages of that. Now, here we go. So here's the first lesson. You've got the video tab, you've got the playground tab, and then you've got the quiz tab. In order to complete a lesson, you do have to finish each of these. Now, I will run through that with you. Before I do, I want to go back to the course, just show you where we're at. So it says your first program. So here we are, back to the course page, and all I did was just click on the course tab. Now if you look into the module 1, you should see this is where we got to. So all of those pages that we just clicked through, all of this, that's how it works. So you notice that it gently goes through each and every single page, starting from the welcome video, through the about section, and then on to module 1, and then we got to this point here. So this is where the first lesson really begins. Now, one thing you should also notice before we get into the lesson, wherever it says lab, it consolidates everything you've learned to that point into one text document for you to try out, and that's really cool actually. So let's go into our first program and I'll show you how this all works. So we're in the first one, we're looking at the video first. So what the video does is it gives you all of the information for the lesson. Now what I tend to do is I do the video along with the actual playground. So if you do it this way, it helps a little bit. So you can watch it, they're very short videos, so you can watch the video, and then once you've done that, you press the next button, it takes you to the playground. Now there is a setup procedure for this, which the first time I did this, it did take about 2 or 3 minutes, so just be aware of that. So here we are, we've just watched the video, we're into the playground, and the button you're going to want is this one here, Start Lab. Now each playground is a new document, so you will have to press this button each time, and it will load up the playground for you with all the text that you need for that lesson. So press on the Start Playground. There's a couple of instructions about linking your email and your password, and that's absolutely fine. Mine comes up with this message. It might look slightly different for you, but just press OK, and what it does is between these two things it just shares that information. Oh, got to press that again just so it launches. There we go. So this takes you off to the playground. The playground is on a different website. It's not a problem, they are completely linked. And this is where all the data science stuff comes from. It does look slightly different to any of the Python stuff we looked at before, and it's quite nice because it gives you a few instructions and then it gives you a chance to play. And it was what I was trying to do with the solo learn stuff, where you'd kind of have a go at the quiz and you'd have a go at the playground, but this kind of does it in a more seamless way, which I quite like. So once again, just wait for all this to happen. So what happens every time you open up one of these, it starts a new document over here. Okay, so it gives you all of the documents, and you can always come back through this. Each of them are tabs, so you can close any of the tabs you're not using. So what you would do is you'd read through the text, and then you would try it out. So as you can see, I've already tried all this, but I'll do one for you. So by pressing Shift Enter, that will run the code. Another way of doing this is if you press the play button here, it will also run the code. Now just be aware, on the iPad it is a bit fussy, okay? So if you press Shift Enter, or you just press this play button here, and what it will do is it will generate the run statement. So this is what I typed in. So on this bit here, you just type in print, and then just do your hello world, just like we would do in any others. So the one thing I like about this is it doesn't tell you you're wrong either, so it just lets you have a little play before you then move on to the quiz. So you can press the run button again, and then it runs, and you can change this if you want to put something else in there. You can, it's not a problem. And then you can run again and it will show you. So you scroll down, and there's normally about 2 or 3 of these things that you can actually try out, where you write the text in this box here and then you see what it looks like. All of this information that they're giving you here and what they're making you type is actually linked to the video, which is really useful. And that's what I say, what you might find really useful is if you do the video and this task in kind of tandem with each other. So as you learn the information, you write it in. And I found that actually helped me quite a bit, because I did have to watch a couple of the videos 2 or 3 times to kind of get what they were saying, which some of you might find a bit challenging. So once you've done that, you can go back to the actual edX.org and you can carry on. So we've done this one, and you can leave this open or you can shut it. It's completely up to you. It does tend to take a little bit longer to load if you shut it, but that's up to you. And then we move on. So we press the next and it'll take us onto this page here, which is the quiz. Now on the quiz we get to answer a few. So I've already done, so you can copy my answers if you want for this one. But you answer the quiz, you press submit, it tells you if you're right. And you do the same here, you press submit, it tells you if you're right. And the good thing about it is the quizzes are very short. They're normally only a couple of questions. So it really didn't take me very long to get through this. And there you go, there is one lesson completed. So once you finish that lesson, you can then move on to the next lesson and start the next task. So once again, every lesson is made up of a video, it's made of a playground, and it's made up of a quiz. So if you did the video first and then moved on to the playground, once again on each playground you do have to come down to this start lab and you do have to press this button to get it working. So I hope that was useful. Once again, if you have any feedback, if you struggle with this in any way, what I'll do, although I'm only going to open up one Google assignment for the next 4 weeks, what I'll do is I'll keep posting these videos into that assignment so that you have them. And as I get your feedback, I'll try and help you solve some of these problems and see where you're getting stuck. These documents can be quite wordy. But actual fact, I've done the first one and there was nothing in there that I felt that would be so challenging that you wouldn't be able to complete it. So, give it your best shot, see how you get on, give me some feedback. If you need any help, just let me know and we'll go through it and we'll see what we can do, okay? Alright, so I'll see you in the next one. Well done, guys.